Hey, in this video, I'm talking about how high blood sugar destroys your arteries, clogs your arteries, causes heart disease, but I'm also gonna go through how to fix it naturally. And so when we think about this, high blood sugar, when sugar elevates in the bloodstream, the sugar molecules will actually bind to proteins and create sticky proteins. We call this process glycation. So the sugar molecule binds to a protein, creates a sticky protein. That sticky protein then becomes highly unstable. We call that an advanced glycation end product, AGE. These AGEs are like shrapnel going through your bloodstream. They just destroy the endothelial lining, the internal lining of the blood vessel, creating massive amount of inflammation, oxidative stress, and then plaque buildup. Plaque is like scar tissue trying to kind of make sure that the arteries are not leaking, right? And that blood's not just, we don't have a hemorrhage. And so the plaque comes in like glue or like scar tissue to just kind of block that up, but it ends up occluding blood flow, right? And causing poor blood flow, which can increase blood pressure, cause a whole myriad of problems. And so when this happens, when somebody has uncontrolled diabetes and their blood sugar goes really high and they can't get it down effectively, they end up destroying those the arterial lining, the endothelial lining of the blood vessels. They end up with kidney problems because now the kidneys become really damaged. They also end up with nerve problems, right? So peripheral neuropathy, as well as optic neuritis, because they can't get good oxygenation into those neurons, and neurons become destroyed. And so they can end up not feeling any sensation in their feet, for example, and losing their vision because they have optic neuritis, and they ultimately end up with congestive heart failure. So when people have uncontrolled diabetes and metabolic syndrome, they usually die of a heart attack, right? But along the way, they develop fatty liver, they develop kidney problems, and they oftentimes down the road will end up needing something like dialysis in order to live. And then they also end up with optic neuritis, with dementia, with peripheral neuropathy. So really, really bad condition to have. And so when we have high blood sugar, we're gonna have high insulin. Insulin's job is to pull sugar out of the bloodstream, get it into the cells where it can be used for energy. But what happens is the more sugar we're pushing into the cell, the more the cell says, I'm full, I got enough. And when it feels like it's got enough, it starts to close the door on insulin. It starts to lock that door. Insulin now, being the key, right, is less able to open the door. So we need more and more and more insulin in order to get the door open to get glucose into the cell. We end up developing what we call insulin resistance. When there's high levels of insulin in the blood, that drives up inflammation in our blood. It also stops our ability to burn fat for fuel. And so we end up developing visceral fat, or this very inflammatory fat that surrounds our organ systems. So a lot of problems that occur with this. Now, how do we go about fixing it? Well, number one is we want to make sure that we stop eating a lot of grains, eating a lot of ultra-processed foods, high starchy carbohydrates, all your pretzels, crackers, potato chips, right? All those types of things. We got to get that stuff out of there. All your high sugar foods, processed foods, getting those out. We want to stop grains, so stop eating bread, rice, things like that, and stop snacking. Stick to 2 to 3 meals a day. Prioritize protein. Make sure that you're getting 30 to 50 or possibly more grams of protein in each meal. Make sure you're eating healthy fats. Healthy fats are going to come from grass-fed animal products, wild-caught fish, pasture-raised eggs. You're also going to get them from extra virgin olive oil, avocados. Get the healthy fats on board, and make sure you're eating colorful vegetables, low carbohydrate vegetables. You can also do some fruit if your blood sugar is under control. You can get some fruit in there. The healthier you get, the more fruit and also the more root vegetables you're able to consume. If your blood sugar is really high and you've got insulin resistance at first, we don't want to do a lot of fruit. Maybe a little bit of berries here and there, maybe about a half a cup a day, and that's about it. Okay, no root vegetables, just sticking with non-starchy vegetables during that season until we get your blood sugar more stable and until we get your insulin levels down, right, to where they're very stable under 5 units on a fasting insulin test. When we get to that level, now we can start adding back a good amount of fruit and also some of the root vegetables in from time to time as well. And so we want to do that with the diet. We also want to do intermittent fasting, where we consume our meals in like a 6 to 8 hour eating window. So it might be from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Find a good window, and that's where you're going to consume your 2 to 3 meals during that period of time. Really prioritizing protein, really prioritizing healthy fats, and then making sure we've got some colors in that meal ideally as well. And so that's what we want to do with the nutrition. We also may tighten that eating window up 1 day a week, where we try to do more like a 20 to 24 hour fast. And we're eating maybe 1 meal or 2 meals in like a 4-hour eating window, something along those lines during that 1 day. That's going to give us more time to bring insulin down and to stabilize blood sugar. Now, I wouldn't do that right off the bat if your blood sugar is really high. I would wait until your blood sugar comes down a bit, till you get more satiated, you have less hunger and cravings. Then you can do a little bit longer fast, and that will actually make you even more insulin sensitive and be able to burn fat more effectively. So that's a great approach. Number 2 is make sure you're moving a lot, getting a lot of exercise in. So getting movement in. I recommend 10 to 20 minutes of walking 3 times a day. So if you can only do 10, do 10. If you can do 20, do 20 minutes 3 times a day, morning, or let's say midday, and then in the evening as well. Making sure you're also getting some strength training. You can go to a gym, or you can just do body weight exercises, push-ups, pull-ups, even a push-up off the wall, right? Something that's really challenging your muscles, squats, deadlifts, right? Great exercises to help strengthen your lean body tissue. When you strengthen muscle tissue, it acts like a sponge, helping grab sugar, pull sugar out of the bloodstream, where it can now be used for energy, and it's creating less of these advanced glycation end products. So we're getting the blood sugar lower because the muscles are stronger, they're gobbling up sugar, and that's also going to lower your insulin levels. And so really key that we're strengthening and building muscle. We also want to make sure we're prioritizing good sleep. Really prioritizing good sleep helps all the entire cell function better, in particular your mitochondria. When your mitochondria function better, you burn fat more effectively for fuel. So really prioritizing good sleep, making sure we're nasal breathing. So most people are mouth breathing. So practicing nasal breathing throughout the day, and then at night you can put tape over your mouth. It's called mouth taping, and that mouth taping will help force your body to breathe through your nose. Nasal breathing increases nasal nitric oxide, which brings more oxygen up into the brain. You get deeper, more restful sleep, and it also tells your body you're in a restful period. And during a restful season, you're in a parasympathetic part of your nervous system is activated, and you're in a safe place, is what your body says, as opposed to mouth breathing, which tells your physiology that danger is around, right? That you might need to run at any period of time, and then therefore your blood sugar is going to be increased. So you're going to have less stress hormones when you're breathing through your nose, lower blood sugar, better insulin sensitivity. So we want to really practice nasal breathing. Breathing habits are super key for getting your blood sugar down. So that's the next step. Okay. On top of that, we want to make sure we're getting good sun exposure, getting out, getting 10, 20, 30 minutes of sun as often as possible on as much of your body as possible. That's going to help improve cellular function. It's like charging a battery, right? Now that battery in your body is going to function better. That's going to help bring down that blood sugar, bring down that insulin, reduce inflammation in your system, and help you just feel better. So getting the sun exposure. And then on top of that, you can also do cold showers. Now, you don't have to do the whole shower cold, but the last, let's say, 30 seconds of your shower or minute, you could turn the water cold and just start pumping your muscles like this. That will bring down your blood sugar, okay? And it will also secrete more growth hormone, testosterone, which will help support the development of healthy, lean body tissue, and it will rev up your metabolism. So you'll start turning some of that visceral fat into what we call brown fat, more metabolically active fat, when you're getting that cold exposure. You can also sweat, right? Getting in something like a sauna, whether it's a steam sauna, hot stove sauna, or an infrared sauna. All of that's going to really help your metabolism, help you burn fat, help you stabilize your blood sugar, and improve your insulin sensitivity. So getting in a sauna, getting out, exercising outside in the heat, all of that's going to help with your overall metabolism, help you improve your blood sugar stability, lower your blood sugar, and improve your insulin sensitivity as well. So start doing those things. Let's get your blood sugar regulated. Let's get your insulin regulated so you can really thrive in life. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my channel, browse the various videos that I've done on similar topics, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. That way you get notified whenever I put up a new video training. Thanks so much for being a part of our community here, and I really hope you enjoy the videos that we're putting out on a regular basis. Be blessed.